nothing special in it. But even if I was, it's none of your business. And I don't want you looking over to see what I'm writing either. Like I said, it's not that important. I just want privacy. If you started texting someone right now, I wouldn't be looking at your phone to see who. And I wouldn't be looking to see what you said, would I? No, because I know how to respect people's privacy. Unlike you, who chooses a single bench to sit on, where someone is already sitting on it, instead of choosing your own. Dumb, dumb decision. It's just a regular notebook. There's nothing special about it. Just, you can look but don't touch. See? Black cover. Don't worry about what's on the cover. Don't worry about the part that my hand is covering. Doesn't matter. Like I said, black notebook. Anyway, I was busy, so if you could just get lost, that'd be nice. Anyways, what are you doing out and about? Did you hear the news? Aren't you scared of Kiddo? Don't act like you don't know who that is. Everybody knows who that is. The news has been reporting about it non-stop. The guy that can single-handedly kill criminals without even being in the room with them. They still wonder how he does it. I would wonder too if I was them. I'm sure you've heard, right? There's theories, about who he is and how he does it. But I'm sure you've heard just as many as I have, and they're probably just as wrong. I have a theory, but I don't know if I want to share it with you. Well, it's not like I know you, is it? Well, did you hear, supposedly, that the way that Kira does it is he needs two things. He needs your name, and he needs to see your face. So I guess people like us are safe, huh? Out in public, walking around, as long as nobody knows our names. That's why I didn't introduce myself to you, and why I wouldn't. Because for all I know, you're Kita. And how do you know I'm not? You want to be safe, don't you? You really do lack common sense, don't you? Anyone with half a brain would know not to give their name to a stranger these days. It's dangerous. I wouldn't give mine out, and I never will again now that all this is going on. Don't be stupid. Don't give out yours either. Nobody needs to know who you are. You'd only put yourself in danger if you did. What? You're not scared? Do you not believe in Kita's powers or something? Hasn't he proved it enough? He killed like 5 anchormen. That wasn't just a coincidence. And what about all those criminals that he's killing? And yeah, I know some people agree, and they say he's doing what's best for society because he's getting rid of the criminals. And truthfully, I agree. But that still doesn't mean that I trust Kita as far as I can throw him. If he could just kill anyone, then he probably could just kill anyone like you and me. So, those two things. Think about it. How did he kill the anchorman? He wasn't in the room. The guy wasn't shot or stabbed or anything like that. He just kind of killed over. They said it was a heart attack. How could he keep giving all these people heart attacks? Don't you wonder about that? What is he doing, scaring them to death? That's what I suspect. But I have a lot of suspicions. Anyway, what are your suspicions? That's so stupid. Did you even think that through before you said it? You obviously don't know what you're talking about. But it's okay. I know enough for the both of us. Anyway, let me just get back to writing in my book. Don't worry about what I'm writing. Again, it's none of your business. Anyway, I'm just writing names. Just random names. Fine, you want to see it so bad? I'll show you, but don't touch it. You can see this page that I'm writing on. You see, so far, I've written a list of 20 names. You can see them. Brad Taylor, Mark Johnson, Sarah Whittle. You can keep reading if you want. Yeah. Josh, Dolan, Gary, West. There's just a bunch of random names on here. Do you recognize any? Well, you should, because one of them is someone famous. Can you see which one it is? Yep, line number 8. I'm just writing names, I guess. It's not in alphabetical order or anything. I guess I'm just writing a list of some of my favorite people. Or is it the people that I hate? Guess you'll never know. Anyway, what are you doing in this park? Are you just trying to enjoy your day out or something? Why'd you choose this park? Why'd you choose this bench? Why'd you choose to sit next to me instead of that guy over there, way down there? Did you think I was less dangerous or something, just because I'm a girl? That's such a stupid assumption. But I guess if I were you, I would have made that assumption too. If I saw 2 benches, and one was a guy and one was a girl, I would sit with the girl too, even if she liked busy writing in her notebook. Because that's rude. Yeah, you can't just intrude on someone's time, but I guess I'd still do it like you did if I was that rude. But I'm not. What? Oh, I'm just writing times next to the names. Why? It's just, these are the times that I met them. Yeah, see, 10:28 was when I met Brad, and 6:15 was when I met Gary. I remember because, like I said, it's a list of my favorite people. I guess you could say it's a list of my best friends. People I'm very close to, or know very well. Well, I can still know the famous person well, even if I don't really know them, can I? Tabloids and stuff always report about their lives. It's not like I'm completely in the dark and clueless. Anyway, don't worry about why I'm writing times there. I just am. I like to remember things. Isn't that why people keep notebooks? To keep track of things. To remember. It's a good way to restore your memory, you know? Did you know that they say that if you want to remember your dreams, you should keep a dream journal? Yeah, that's what they say. Well, the journal is supposed to help your memory get stronger, because when you write it down in a notebook, you remember it for longer. So, when you wake up first thing, you have to instantly write down your dream It's just how the brain works. I don't know. Well, it works for me. I've written dreams down in this notebook too, you know. I write a lot of things in this notebook. Yeah, like what I'm writing right now next to Brad's name and time. Well, I can't tell you. Okay, well, I guess I can tell you. Have you ever heard of fan fiction? Yeah, so fan fiction, you know, like from movies or shows where people go onto a website and they write stories about the characters and stuff like that, but they put them in situations that they weren't in on the shows. So, for instance, let's say I was writing a fan fiction about you. Let's say you had a TV show or something. I don't know your name, of course, but if I did, I would say I would write a fan fiction where you went to the park and you didn't choose to sit on the same bench that a girl was sitting on who was writing in her notebook. I would say that you went and sat way down there next to that guy, and maybe I would write that you became friends with this guy, or that this guy became your enemy. Things like that. It's supposed to be like an alternative way of how things could have turned out. You know, fan fiction. You're a fan, and it's fiction. That doesn't mean I'm a fan of you, I was just explaining. Anyway, sometimes I like to write fan fiction about people that I know, or even this celebrity on the page here. So, for instance, I am going to write dies by a tornado. What? It's just fan fiction. And anyways, it's just, you know, nothing's wrong with writing about it. It's just a story. It doesn't mean anything. Just because I have a book of things that I'm writing about where people die doesn't mean anything. Like up here, I put Brad gets struck by lightning. I just think it's kind of funny to think of these things that'll never happen, don't you? Well, I just like to be creative. Think about it. I'm gonna put that Gary gets eaten by a shark. Deserved. Huh. Oh, I said, um, it's what I heard is a good way to be creative in storytelling. Yeah, so for Josh, I'll bet what's a good one? Gotta get creative here, you know. We can say that something from the sky falls on Josh. I just think it's funny. You don't. I think it's creative too. How many times have you heard that someone has died by that way? You never hear it. Only in cartoons. Like, hey, what kind of cartoons do you hear that in? I don't know, maybe Looney Tunes or something. That's super old, but everyone knows that, right? Well, there's something I can't share with you. Okay, I'll tell you. I'm kind of just cosplaying a little. Well, what I mean is, I have a theory. I kind of think that this is how Kita kills people. I think he writes Not that you'll believe me, but I can still tell you. Well, there's this urban legend. It's about a mythical creature known as a Shinigami. Have you ever heard of that? A Shinigami is a god of death. And supposedly, in this legend, Shinigamis can leave notebooks in the human world. And if you find this notebook, you then have the power to write names in it and determine and decide of the names that you put in the notebook die. I guess I kind of like the idea, so I thought I would just try it in a random notebook and see if it worked. Obviously it won't, but it's fun to think about. Well, I guess I don't know you, so I can just be weird and tell you. But supposedly there's rules for this book that they drop. Yeah, things like you can write a name in the notebook, but you have to know the person's face too. So you put the name in, and you envision the face. Sometimes you could be looking right at it, like I'm looking at you right now. Like if I had your name, I could just write it in this notebook and then determine how you were gonna die. You're lucky I don't know your name, and not that I have that power, but if I did, you'd be in trouble, wouldn't you? Well, you put the name in the book, and then you can put a cause of death next to it, but you have to write it in 6 minutes, or it doesn't work. Also, you have to write a time frame. Well, you don't have to, but you could write a time frame. For instance, let's say you meet someone at 10:05 and you want to kill them, but you don't want to look like you're involved because it's going to be really hard to get away in 6 minutes, right? Well, you can put their name down in the book. You can go away for 3 hours, and then you can just write their name then, or you can put their name in the book, write the time for 3 hours from now, and then they would die 3 hours from then. I'm not saying that I fully believe it. I'm just saying it's really fun to think about. Anyway, if I had that power, that means that all these people in this book would cease to exist by way of what I said, by the methods that I chose. So, there would be Gary, Brad, Josh, the celebrity. You'd never see them again. They'd be no more. They wouldn't just disappear, but you probably could do things like that. Like if you said, Gary suddenly disappeared and died. I don't know. I'm not an expert. Anyways, that sounds like the most likely way that Kira is doing this, because how else can you explain the fact that he's killed a bunch of people without being in the room with them? Because did you know a lot of the people that he killed have been from prisons? How would he have gotten into those facilities? He couldn't have. They're maximum security facilities. You think Kira has gotten into every single one? He couldn't have unless he's a cop, I guess. Which I guess he could be. Anyway, we don't have to worry, right? Because like I said, Kira doesn't wear a name unless he's someone that we know already and we don't know it. And like I said, if either one of us was Kira, we're safe because we don't know each other's names, right? I'm going to write another name. Are you curious about who it is? You can look over if you want. Yeah, Jason. No. It's just an ex-boyfriend of mine. A lot of these are people that I don't like, I'll be honest. I would say, what's a good way for an ex-boyfriend to She stole my favorite crayon and broke it. Yeah, what a bitch. She never paid for it. Maybe now she will. If you had a notebook like the one I'm talking about, like the one I'm pretending to have, whose names would you write in it? I'm just curious. Do you have a list of enemies yourself? Okay. Well, that's boring. What? Oh, I'm just writing the name of this guy who cut me off at the store. He got in front of me in line. Yeah, I know his name because the, what do you call it? The, the guy at the register. Yeah, whatever. He said the guy's name. So, I think I'll say he gets stabbed while cutting someone else off in line. Would serve him right. It's a good dose of karma, don't you think? Well, I think. And all that matters is what I think. Anyway, I guess if I were to know your name and I wrote it, maybe I would write something like, gets mugged and killed while sitting on a bench next to some girl he doesn't know. Maybe that would prevent you from sitting on any more benches near girls. Maybe you'd leave them alone after that, huh? You'd second guess. You'd think twice. You wouldn't want to bother anyone, and you wouldn't want to put your own life at risk, would you? No. See, you're not dumb. You just act like it sometimes, I guess. And you kinda look it, but whatever. I'm not trying to be a bitch, I'm just being honest. That's what happens when you sit next to strangers, You run the risk of getting insulted or opening yourself up to some damage. You're lucky that's all I can do to you. Although my insults are pretty killer. Not gonna lie. Very, very kidda. There is another thing that I heard about the Shinigami. Do you want to know what it is? Are you curious? I know I like to know things about supernatural creatures when I learn about them. Have you ever heard about the Kitsune? Or the Dredge? Or what was that other supernatural creature? No, not that one. There's another one. It's really ugly. Does that help? It could be you, I guess. I'm only kidding around. Don't be so sensitive. Anyways, maybe I'll think of it later. That's not about my story anyway. My story is about the Shinigami. Yeah, remember? The god of death. Well, on top of having a notebook, there's another rule supposedly in that book. There's this theory when you read about the Shinigami that there's another way to kill, even if you don't have someone's name. Can you guess what it is? You don't need someone's name. You just need their face. It's another way to kill. Well, legend has it negotiation is that the Shinigami can give you Shinigami eyes. And once you have them, all you have to do is see the face of someone, and then you'll know their name. You can see their name above their head. Not only that, but you can also see their lifespan, how long they have to live. But it comes with a price. Like I said, it's a very pricey deal. The price is that half of your own lifespan is reduced if you choose to take the eyes. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a pretty fucked up deal to me. Why would anyone want to sacrifice half their lifespan? What if you were only going to live for another 5 years? Now you only get 2.5 of it. Or let's say, I guess, what if you were going to live for 60 years? Then you only get 30. And what if all the good shit that was going to happen to you was going to happen at the 40-year mark, you know? But you only get 30. I guess it depends on who you ask. Some might think it's a small price to pay to have such power, but I think it's kind of expensive. But what if that's a power that Kid has? What if he could just see some faces and know their names, and then that's how he can kill them? Would you take the deal if you could? What about the notebook? If someone offered you the notebook, would you take it? And would you use it? What if it was to do what Kid is doing? What if it was to kill all the people in the world that were doing more harm than good? What if it was to kill society's scum, the worst of the worst? What if it was to kill killers and people who harm people? What if? Would you do it then? Would you do it to save lives? Would you do it to save your own life or the lives of the ones that you love? It seems like an incredible power to have, if you ask me. Yeah, I know my reasons are petty, and my list is pretty petty. I mean, I did write a girl's name that I knew in first grade, and I did write someone who cut me off at the market, but those people are bad people too. You don't start off bad in first grade and then just become better in life. You don't just steal someone's crayon and break it, and then all of a sudden you're an angel when you're an adult. It doesn't work like that. If you're a bad egg in the beginning, you stay a bad egg, and you only rot and get worse and only turn more rotten. That thing about how people can change, it's not true. There's no redemption, and there's no rehabilitation. It's all a lie. You can't just be a bad person and then just not be a bad person. You'll always have that bad in you, and no matter what you do, you'll always have done the bad things that you've done. You can't change it. It's just who you are. And I don't think it's fair that people should get away with that either. I'm just saying, bad people do bad things, and a lot of people are bad. There's probably more bad people than good people in the world. I would even say I'm a bad person too, because look at all the names I've written. And do I have any remorse about it? No. I think. Oh, wait. Do you see that girl over there? I know her. Yeah, that girl right there. Her name is Emily. She owes me money, you know. It's not like anything's gonna happen to Emily, but we'll watch it for 2 minutes and see. Do you want to count? Just look at your time, it'll show you. But while we're waiting, there's something else I forgot to tell you about the notebook. It's actually called the Death Note. And once you touch it, you can see Shinigami's. Well, one Shinigami. You only get one, but you can see it. And if anyone else touches your notebook, they can see the Shinigami too. Supposedly. Yeah, maybe that's why I didn't want you to touch my notebook. You're so smart. Alright. 30 seconds left. Let's watch Emily. Oh, I didn't put down any reason. Supposedly, if you don't put down any reason, they just die of a heart attack. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! Oh, would you look at that? Oh my gosh, something's happening to poor Emily. Oh no, what? She fell. She fell. She's clutching her chest and she fell. Is she okay? Someone better check on her. No, don't move. Let that guy over there check on her. We're too far away anyway. Looks like it's almost like she had a heart attack. That's so confusing, isn't it? Because I wrote that in my book, and then it just happened. But it could just be coincidence, right? Right. Well, why don't we test it? You see, I happen to know that guy right there too. The one who helped her. Yeah, that's her boyfriend, Jimmy. Well, let me put Jimmy's name in here. Jimmmy. His last name, Levinstein. Levinstein. I hope I spelled that right. You know there's a rule that if you spell it wrong, it won't work. Well, let's say that he will go in exactly. You know what? Let's make this interesting. I'll say that a bird attacks Jimmy and kills him. Maybe like an eagle that just flies through the sky and attacks him. And we'll put the death for exactly 2 minutes from now. Well, now that a crowd is surrounding Emily, we'll get to see if that bird only picks Jimmy from the crowd, won't we? We have to wait, like I said, 2 minutes. It feels like a long time now, doesn't it? Because you just want to see what happened. You just want to find out. You're really curious about my notebook now, aren't you? I'd be curious too if I were you. It's not 2 minutes yet. We just have to wait. But come on, think about it. What are the chances that an eagle would just soar through the sky and land on poor Jimmy's face? Chances are nil, right? Slim to none. Guess we'll have to see. There's just about, a minute left before it happens. If it happens, we'll see. Maybe I should have done it a minute ago, but I thought I'd give us time, let the crowd form. Don't look too obvious. If we're caught here staring and not moving toward it, we're gonna look weird, like we're the only ones not going over there. Just pretend you don't even see it. Just carefully look. time yet. I'll tell you when. I calculated this perfectly. Remember, it'll be a bird flying through the sky. I bet you're thinking about everyone on my list now, and how they'll go if it's true. Poor Gary and that shark. What a disaster-filled ending. Deserved, though. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bam! Look, everyone's screaming. The bird's coming down. A bird is attacking Jimmy's face. Oh, this is so funny. But I thought you didn't believe in this kind of thing. Well, do you believe it now? Yeah. Well, turns out maybe there's a little secret I didn't tell you. The truth is, this notebook, it is a special notebook because I happen to have the death note. Are you surprised? Maybe you should be scared instead. Or do you think you're safe because I don't know your name? Well, I guess you are then, huh? Guess you won't end up with the same fate as Jimmy. And poor Emily there. She should have paid me back. I don't regret what I did to Jimmy, though. He was dating her. You don't date a bad person if you're not a bad person yourself. You only associate with what you are. Anyways, you know that saying, rotten apple will turn all the apples rotten. It's true. You know what else is true? This notebook. I want to show you something. Don't be scared. Just do what I say and you'll be fine. First, I will tell you something that I haven't already told you. I'm gonna write the next name down in this book. Does that name look familiar? Yeah, because it's yours. How did I know your name, you ask? Well, simple. You see, I have the eyes. The Shinigami eyes. I knew your name the moment you sat down. I've seen your lifespan the whole entire time. I could tell you it, but I won't, because you have a new lifespan set for 2 minutes from now. Yep, I guess I will be seeing you very soon. Let's see, how should you go out? Oh, that is just too good. Oh, if you want to know, just read it. Creative, don't you think? Well, you'll be okay. You'll be okay, because you won't feel anything soon. You probably shouldn't have sat on this bench with me. Oh well, I would say next time you'll learn, but I guess there won't be a next time, will there? It's such a shame, too. You were actually kind of fun to talk to, but I just revealed way too much, and I can't keep you around now. No offense, it's nothing personal, except I did take it personal when you sat on this bench with me at first, but now you know the dangers of stranger. They do call it stranger danger for a reason. I guess you won't be able to tell anyone what that reason is though now, cause